Alright, so the trip has officially begun. Thanks to Lone Pine Kirk for shuttling me up here. It is lightning and we have a light sprinkle. You can hear it. I'm a little worried about that. Don't want to start off the getting struck by lightning. So hopefully this passes quickly. If it's still doing this when I get to Cottonwood Pass, which is exposed at about 11,000 feet, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm supposed to make it to Soldier Creek today because they have a bear box that I can put my extra food in because I can't get it all in my bear canister. So really trying to get 10 miles in a day. Probably going to hike until darkness in order to get there on time. I just got to the top of Cottonwood Pass. It's pretty much a straight climb for the past mile or so. Definitely challenging. I know there's going to be a lot bigger climbs, but this kicked my ass right off the get-go. I got another 6 miles to go on the day. Luckily the storms have cleared up.
It's about 4 a.m. It's been raining pretty hard. Got the tent batch downs, staying dry. Wheels are all I pass.
So this is Lower Soldier Lake. Camped a few hundred yards from here, but I stopped a little bit short of it because I need to get to a bear box. So I just stopped at the first one I found. Feels like I felt a few light sprinkles. It rained pretty much all night last night. But surprisingly, the ground's quite dry. So I got to make it up to Crabtree Meadow today, and it's between 10 and 11 miles. So I woke up a little bit late because I couldn't sleep well. So it's a little bit past 11, but I should be able to make it before dark with no problem. All right, let's get after it. There's thunder with a small amount of lightning I saw, and we're getting some rain, but it's pretty much just drizzling now, like very, very small sprinkles. So I don't really know what it's gonna do. I'm not used to the Sierra weather patterns. It seems like there's a lot of like little showers and they just kind of like dissipate after 20 minutes or so. So hopefully this clears up because I have Goyat Pass in a little bit, and I did not want to be climbing that in the middle of a thunderstorm for obvious reasons, so I'm a little concerned. So I took a wrong turn. That's why I ended up at Soldier Lake. I actually didn't realize that Soldier Lake wasn't part of the trail, so I had to backtrack a little bit, no big deal. Probably have about 9 miles left in the day.
Right hand, stare down the left. I wish to know nothing here, save the blood of the cross.
Going up the Goyat Pass. Look at that view.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks.
Alright, I'm probably 3/4 of a mile to my destination, but man, this is beating me. Yesterday was the last one to get into camp, and the last one to leave because I needed to sleep in. Today I'll probably do the same thing. I'll be getting there right at dark. 5 a.m. I'm gonna start waking up here, and I have a base camp at Crabtree Meadow, and I'm gonna go summit Mount Whitney. It's 3:42, and this is what it looks like. I got 7.5 miles to get up to Whitney. I decided to get an early start today because I've been making a slow pace, and I also want to beat out the thunderstorms if they happen in the afternoon. Okay, I just got past Guitar Lake, and I'm gonna start the ascent. It's still pretty dark, but there's a line of headlamps going up the mountain. There's already people headed up there. I'm making pretty good time, so we'll see if I can mount Whitney. I'm at about 12,000 feet, and I gotta go all the way up there. It's Whitney. Man, I'm tired. Still got a long way to go. About 13,000 feet, 1,500 more feet to go. Almost at the trail junction. Looks like I'm almost at the top, right? Wow. It's an illusion. That's almost 2 miles. 2,000 feet elevation. It's sketchy.
And close my world and never open up to anything that could get me at all. I had to close down everything. I had to close down my mind. Too many things have caught me. Too much could make me blind. I've seen so much in so many places, so many heartaches, so many faces, so many dirty things.
About a mile to go, 800 feet. Good.
It's always good in life for this.
That's a view. Get out of there. Trying to get into the packs.
Roots.
He just doesn't care about me either.
No, he doesn't.
Get out of there.
Out of here.
Probably some kind of hailstorm, and it's thundering and lightning. Not good.
This is day 4, and I'm headed to Timber Creek. It's gonna be a shortish day. So I'll Forester Pass tomorrow morning. It's probably gonna be tough, but maybe not as hard coming from the north. Coming from the south, rather. The thing that sucks the most for me is this pack. It's an ultralight pack. And it's been crushing my shoulders because I had to carry 10 days worth of food. And I've been eating it, but I got at least 7.5 days worth of food still. And that's the view. It's still pretty sadistic hiking. But yeah, it's just, if I can get this pack down to like 25 to 28 pounds, food and water, my shoulders will feel a lot better. On the road again, something, something, something on the road again. Going up to climb some mountains today and climb Forester Pass from the south side, 2,000 meters away. Not as bad as going the other way. We'll report back later. Some snow here still. Early September, feels like 60 or 70 degrees, sunshine, and that shows you how much snow comes down. Still not all melted. Alright, so still doing Forester's Pass. We're at the final ascent. Met 2 other guys also going northbound. Haven't seen too many northbounders actually. They're the first ones on the trail. Well, I did meet a guy in Mount Whitney, but most of the people I'm running into are going the other way because southbound's a lot more popular. They advised me not to stay at Vendette Meadow because of the bear activity, so I'm probably going to camp at Bub's Creek tonight. Don't want to fall off. Feels good today. I feel much better. Actually got some sleep. My appetite is back. I can't tell you, the first few days were pretty rough, but I stuck it out, and now I feel like I can really crank out the miles.
I ended up camping about, say, 0.2 miles from, what the hell's it called? Bullfrog Lake Junction. So, made it a little bit further than my planned stopping point. Today I gotta go up Glen Pass, and then I'm gonna camp somewhere near Woods Creek, most likely. So it'll be about 14 miles, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, it's like 8:40ish. I was feeling anxious this morning because I was like, oh, I gotta get going. It just takes me a lot longer to break camp than I thought it would, pretty much every day. And I don't know, I gotta get rid of this rush mentality, because really all I have to do is hike. And I still have the old me still not adapting correctly to this new environment. So I should be able to make it by sunset to my planned destination, so no reason to panic. Whooping me good, boy. Whooping me good. Yeah, they show a lot of pretty pictures on YouTube about the JMT. I want to tell you about the hell and drudgery. Oh man. I don't know if it's worth it or not, but it's the alternative. Sit on the couch and eat Cheetos
So, making my way to Woods Creek. I'm gonna camp either somewhere before or after the suspension bridge, and it'll be rest that I very much need. There's this old Mike Tyson quote. My apologies if I get it wrong, but it goes something like, "Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth." Think about that one. Some profound wisdom from Mr. Mike Tyson.
It's a bit shaky, eh? How's this for a trail? Fresh Rocky Mountain stream.
You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on
Hello.
for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put
Come here.
you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you
Marmots
down.
are cool.
Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man of Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still. When he said, "John, go do my will." Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider.
12,000.
Tell the rambler, the gambler, the
Alright, so I spoke with the ranger about an hour or two ago. She told me that it's most likely going to storm tonight. And I told her I was going to stay at the upper basin. And she said not a good idea, there's no tree cover there. So I'm going to call it a little bit early the day and just camp at South Forks River Crossing. Maybe about 2 miles short of where I wanted to be, but it makes sense not to be stuck in the middle of a flat area or high elevated area. The hell's a basin anyway? I should know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Either way, no tree cover at 11,000 feet doesn't sound good. So, overall, feeling better. Mood has improved the more I continue on the hike. I mean, every day is pretty much the same thing. You wake up, you hike up the mountain, and then you camp in a valley. You just repeat the same thing every single day. I really couldn't do much more than what I'm doing. My itinerary that I planned is pretty good. Like, there's no way I could cover 2 passes in a day. I mean, I could, but I would just get burnt out too easily. So I think the pace that I've chosen is overall good for my physical fitness level.
Alright, South Fork River Crossing. Take 1. It's pretty deep. Woo!
freezing. Oh shit.
So I'm gonna do hopefully 17 or 18 miles today. Try to catch up to where I should be. Really just have to climb Mather Pass, 2,000 feet elevation, over I think 5 miles. After that though, it's all like pretty steady downhill, so should be able to do it.
Yep, that's Mather Pass. You can see the guy coming down. He looks like a little ant, but I have to get all the way to the top of that. Lower Palisade Lake. This be the land of giants, boy. So I found the, I think, perfect campsite. So I think I found the perfect campsite. Look at this. All right, so you see my clothes there. Well, had a little mishap. I was using a cook pot to sort of pour on my clothes to clean it off. And I drop the cook pot in the water. It goes down into there, but it doesn't go downstream. So I go down off this rock right here, and I slip in and like get pulled under. I mean, it wasn't like I was close to dying, but it could have been pretty bad if I would have got sucked down underneath there. But so now I'm just sitting here. I got rain pants on because I'm completely soaked. So all my stuff's drying. Luckily it's a nice warm day. Overall made it between about 17 miles, I would say. I found this campsite before I reached Grouse Meadow, so I decided to stay here. So hopefully the sun can dry out all my clothes.
After all, isn't it the fear that you face, and all the bitterness we try to erase, all of the reasons to keep me at bay.
I'm not gonna lie, that scared the shit out of me. I just saw an animal in the camp. I didn't know what kind of animal. All right, y'all. So we're turning pages here on this book. And as you can see right here, we're
a little bit above the Middle Fork Trail junction. And then for tomorrow, we gotta go all the way up to Muir Pass. It's 4,000 foot elevation gain over 11 miles. This is probably going to be the hardest climb yet, aside from Whitney. And maybe actually be worse because I have a full pack. Hello. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, buddy. Don't charge me, though. You're fine. Yeah, the horn's not a deal with this one. Alright, so still working my way up to near about a 4,000 foot climb over the course of 11 miles. I probably walk like 5, so the next 6 miles are going to be pretty intense uphill. I'm pretty beat, 8 miles straight uphill. And I don't see any way across this without getting a little bit wet. Not like in the darkish skies for when I summit Muir here. I checked the forecast and it said a 20% chance of rain by 1 p.m. but I don't know how accurate that is. I think this can change on a whim from what I've seen. There it is, Muir Hut. This was probably the hardest climb aside from Whitney that I've done so far. I think most of the hard stuff is done. Howdy. How are you again?
Hey, Ryan. How are you, buddy?
Good.
Meet up with you again.
Yeah, how long have you been up here?
25, 30 minutes. Yeah, it was supposed to snow 10 minutes ago. Couldn't see.
Alright, it's raining. I'm still, I don't know, 3 miles from Evolution Lake. And And I'm just hoping this rain dies off. I can have a nice dry spot in camp. I'm exhausted today. This took everything out of me. Look at that view. The sun just came out again. It's been crazy, off and on all day. Thought it was going to be much worse. The sun just popped right out.
So ever since I became an adult and technology improved and we have smartphones and stuff, I don't really recall ever just sitting staring at nothing, right? So I've just spent the last like 30 minutes just staring at this.
Never seems to die. Trail spent with fear, not enough. Living on the outside. Never seem to get far enough.
Not that it's all that entertaining, but it's interesting that when you don't have anything to do all day, you're more present and looking at the way that wind hits objects and, you know, raindrops fall off surfaces and stuff, just like little shit that maybe when we were kids we used to look at all the time and notice. And then, I don't know if it's the technology or just adulthood and the responsibilities and what we do that. Just a thought.
Alright, day 10. Don't really feel that great today. I felt like I was going to pass out earlier, have a hard time concentrating. And I'm assuming it's just dehydration. And, 10 days of having a calorie deficit. So it's all kind of catching up to me. I pushed it hard yesterday to try to get over the pass before potential thunderstorms and stuff and didn't get enough water. So, and then when I did finally make camp, it started to rain, so I didn't get to finish all my dinner because I wanted to get everything put away into the bear can. So I'm just gonna take it slow today. It's like 13 miles downhill, pretty easy. I'm just gonna try to hydrate a lot along the way.
Alright, a couple miles to camp, feeling a little bit better. I've been drinking a ton of water and I think that's helped. I'm just dehydrated.
Alright, so about a mile, maybe a mile and a half away from Muir Trail Ranch for my first resupply. Morale was pretty low today, that's why I didn't do a ton of updating. The walking was pretty easy, it was mostly downhill, forested areas, no climbs or anything. But yeah, you'll have it. I mean, I just, last night I didn't get enough water, didn't get enough food, and I really felt it today. So I've been eating a lot and drinking a lot, and it took me a few hours, but I finally feel better. Also, all my stuff was wet and smelly and gross, so I soaked it in the stream here. And then I gave myself a sponge bath, which is one of the top things I look forward to doing out here, is just getting the sweat and the grime off me, the things that we take for granted in everyday life, where you just turn on the shower, throw on a change of clothes. It's like everything out here is 10 times harder. It's definitely simpler, more primitive. It's hard to say what I'm learning, if anything, but maybe I'll have to wait for the journey to end to see what the hell this was all about.
Hallucinating Claire. You know the snowshoe at a yard.
Alright, we got our resupply. You want a ball? Good boy. Oh, you're a nice boy.
Alright, so I got my resupply.
These are all the things that people leave behind. It's a commune that we're at right now.
So I'm still climbing. It's been straight uphill. I came from down the valley there, so it's an MTR. Today I'm supposed to go 15 or 16 miles. We'll see how far I get. Kind of got a late start because I sat around and talked to Jay and another hiker at MTR, and I was trying to get some of my devices charged there. Going up over Selden Pass today.
And I told the word companion. And I make myself escape of the multitude of others. It comes always off the page. Holding on to rolling on, buried on your head, only butterflies. So fine, so nice.
Cheers. I needed this. The perks of the resupply.
Alright, today about 15 miles. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. I've got a late start. Going to the top of this bare ridge. Almost done with this 1,000-foot climb. We're going to drop back down and then do a few 1,000-foot climb up over Silver Pass. And I think, looking at the elevation map, profile rather, this will be one of the last difficult days.
Whoa, this don't take no vacation in this land. Whoa, this don't take no vacation in this land. You come to your house and you won't
Alright. I'm just gonna camp here. I didn't make it to my destination. It's raining with a little bit of hail. It looks kind of dark all around the mountains, so I really don't want to be stuck in a storm when I go up over Silver Pass. So I'm probably 2 miles from the summit peak and 3 miles from Squalid, which is where I was going to camp tonight. But I'm not gonna risk it. I'm getting tired anyway. So it was actually a pretty tough day. Like I said, I hope it's the last kind of grueling day. There's a big 1K foot gain, then a drop, and then I've been walking uphill for the past 7 miles or so. Almost 3,000 feet elevation gain. Yep, and it's raining. It just fucking has been raining non-stop. Full trip. Usually doesn't last long, but it's kind of annoying. Oh well, you know, it is what it is. I'm tired out. I'm ready to go home. Ready to get the fuck out of here. So it stopped raining, so that's good news. Cooking some fettuccine Alfredo. So I have some good news, and so I have this little GPS thing I can communicate with my fiance Sarah with, and I was like, well, hey, could you check and see if there are rooms available at Red's Meadow, which is my next resupply place, and there in fact are. So in 2 nights I'm going to actually be staying there. They have showers, it's like $7 for a shower. They have laundry machines so I can do some laundry. Actual electricity inside the room so I can charge all my devices. And they have like real food. So I think that's what I need. Because, you know, it's day 12, and you know, I just feel kind of grimy, you know. And in the same clothes. My clothes are wet almost every day I put them on. It's just disgusting. So yeah. Just little things like that will help, and I think today was pretty tough overall, but I expect the next like 75 miles or however many I have left to be much easier. So I feel like I'm on the last leg, even though I still got like 6 days or whatever, 6 nights, 7 days, 6 nights. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how much I weigh as well. I looked at some pictures of myself. I took like a selfie, and I just look kind of like my complexion looks really pale. I look kind of like the skin's kind of hanging off me. So I don't know. It's probably a combination of a lack of sleep, chronic dehydration, and not eating enough calories. So I might have lost 15 to 20 pounds by the time this trip's done, which would be interesting. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. It's been a long day. I've gone a little over 18 miles, so I'm caught up with my itinerary. I'm going to camp at Deer Creek. I would have camped sooner, but all the streams have been dry, so I would like to, be by a water source for boiling water for my meals and for water the next day. I'm just hoping that this Deer Creek camp spot isn't too crowded. It says there's room for 5 spots on my map, but that's the only water source in town for miles, and we may not have a spot available. So we'll see. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be a pretty easy day. Just 6 miles to Red's. I'm just going to hang out there, eat burgers, take a shower, and charge up my electronics. So pretty much like a rest day, which is, I pretty much need that to recharge. To get some calories and get a lot of water in me.
There's no light in the tunnel, no, I up to the house, and you're singing lead soprano in a chunk man's choir. You got to come on up to the house. Doesn't life seem nasty, British and short? Come on up to the house. The seas are stormy, and you can't find no port. Got to come on up to the house. Yeah. You gotta come on up to the house.
I'm here in my little cabin for the night. Not bad, I'm actually pretty impressed. Better than a 10. So I'm gonna get a shower. I already ate a burger. Strangely, it didn't taste that good, and also like I had a hard time finishing it. So I think my stomach shrunk. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here, drink some beer, do a change of laundry, and just kind of rest. I had 6 miles today, so no big deal. I got to talk to my fiance Sarah and my parents. It was really nice to talk to everybody. So this is going to be a really good like mental health day, relaxation day. Take care of everything, and then just another 4.5 days, and I'll be out of here.
Alright, so I didn't really update today. Took some pictures, but not really any video. I am not feeling well, so I don't know what's going on. I'm a little worried, but I only have 45 miles left, so I should be able to power through. But I was just getting like sweating a lot, very exhausted. So I don't know if I'm getting the flu, which is probably unlikely. Most likely I don't know. Probably just exhausted and stuff like that. So today was an off day. It was actually quite hard. I had to climb out of Red's Meadow and then dropped another 1,000 foot, and then had to gain 1,000 foot. So, but still, it's much it should have been a much easier day than a lot of the other days. So for whatever reason today was not a good day. So I'm gonna make sure that I get plenty to eat tonight, even though I'm really not that hungry, and I'm going to get some rest. And should be okay. Only 3.5 days left, and tomorrow I got to go up over Donahue, and there's a few climbs, but all the days following that should be like much easier. Talking about very flat ground for like 15 miles. And
twice before they partake on a potentially 3 or 4 week backpacking trip. It's not as easy as it looks, but it's also doable for anyone in, like, I would say above average physical shape. The only real problem, I guess, would be like finding someone to go with you, because I think it definitely adds to the difficulty going solo. And in addition to that, you gotta be pretty mentally tough, being able to handle being out here. Although there aren't very many bailout options, so you kind of have to make up your mind before you go. So, funny observation: the deeper you go into the woods, the more it is filled with like real backpackers. For whatever reason, everyone's really friendly. It's just sort of like a camaraderie or something. I don't know what it is. But then you get closer to places where there's just day hikers or people doing like 1 or 2 day backpacking trips. A little less friendly than when you get to where I'm at right now. Those cars, no packs on shit. I walk by them and they just like turn their head. I try to say hi, just be friendly. So I guess this is what hiker trash is. Like, I look like a fucking hobo that just crawled out of the woods or something. It's just very interesting to see the culture shift. Also, the people with no packs on, they're like standing in the way all the time, taking stupid selfies and stuff like every 5 minutes. So it's just kind of funny. Back into the Matrix.
That the ground hurts more than it did yesterday. She knows his voice, and he still sounds determined.
Alright, so I'm at Lower Cathedral Lake. I walked about a half mile off trail to get to this place. There doesn't seem to be a lot of camping in the other areas, but it's, as you can see, it's pretty beautiful. I'm camped over here, like, right underneath that rock ledge. You can probably see my tent. So I'm fairly exposed, but I looked at the weather forecast and I don't know, it always seems to say 10% chance of rain on every hour, so that means we'll probably get a little bit of rain statistically in the next 10 hours. And that seems to be the case. The forecast has been like pretty much the same thing, so I don't know where they're getting the numbers from or what the deal is, but 10% every hour. So I'm ready to get out of here. This last stretch has been kind of annoying. It's just, like I was saying before, there's just a night and day difference between backpackers and just day hikers. They just jump out of their car and take selfies and are just loud and obnoxious, sort of. So I guess I'm kind of a snob. But they also seem to just, I don't know, it just seems so fake, like Instagram fake. Like today, some people just walked down here and were doing yoga on this beach, and I was like, come on, really? You want to do yoga? It's like everyone's just taking pictures and, I mean, it's nice that people are appreciating the beauty, but it almost seems like people are just putting themselves in places of beauty to make themselves look better on social media or something, not just like soaking it in for what it is. It's like this placement of the self in sort of like this look at me thing. I don't know, but who am I to talk? I'm going to probably put this on YouTube, but I don't know. It feels more rewarding though to know that I just walked and did some stuff. Walked over 220 miles so far, I think. I didn't just jump out of my car and take a selfie in front of something beautiful. So I think earning the beauty is essential. But it's just me. I'm an old curmudgeon. So I realized that with all this rushing around, I never actually gave you a formal tour of my home for the past 17 days. This day 17. So this is a Z-Pax duplex tent. It looks like it's made out of a trash bag. This fabric here is Cuban fiber. It is very light and quite durable. Most of the modern backpacking gear, like the high-end stuff, is made out of this stuff nowadays. It's a fantastic tent. Very roomy on the inside. It's a 2-person tent, but it's light enough to be, I can carry this as a solo shelter, which is how I'm doing. So this is this quilt. People don't really like sleeping bags anymore, so quilts are kind of the trend in backpacking because they serve as just sort of like a large blanket, and you don't really need to have the insulation wrap all around you, because when you're laying on the insulation, it actually doesn't work. This is more of your insulation. It would be your sleep pad. This is a Neo Air. It's fantastic. I get about as good night's sleep as I'm possibly going to get. So this is the Sea to Summit pillow. It's only a couple ounces. It's worth its weight in gold, I think. I feel pretty good with that. Yeah, so this is what the house looks like. I can, you know, depending on where the wind's blowing, I can take this like vestibule thing down and just let it ventilate better, because it's a single walled tent, and there sometimes will be moisture on the inside, condensation getting me kind of wet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's the bear canister. All the food and trash goes in there. Other than that, I'm a simple man, what can I say? That's all you need. That's all you need, my friends. Well, I'm looking forward to going back to my overly large home and sleeping in my king-size bed. Alright, day 18. This is the last full day out here. It's going to be a 12-mile day, I think, unless I'm going to try to get to the backpackers camp. The only reason to do that is I think there's phone reception there, and there might be running water next to the regular campground, so I can clean up a bit. But we'll see how I'm feeling. So the only choice I have to make aside from that is if I want to climb Half Dome or not. I'm leaning towards no, just because I'm going to be getting there a little bit late in the day, and it's a 4-mile round trip, and I guess it sort of depends on the weather and how I'm feeling, but I also don't really have much of a desire to do that, considering I think there'll be like a line of people. So I don't know, we'll see. Tomorrow's going to be an easy 7 miles, maybe less, like I said, depending on where I camp, just straight downhill. So I would finish up today, but there's no bus going to Mammoth Lakes, that's where I'm flying out of, so I gotta wait an extra day.
Summertime and the wind is blowing outside in Lower Chelsea, and I don't know.
So I don't know why, but well, I guess I kind of know why. I'm a sucker for post-apocalyptic stuff. I just love walking through these burnt down, charred forests. It's very beautiful yet unsettling. Making pretty good time, debating if I should pull a 16-mile day still and do Half Dome. Like, I do want to do it, but I hit a wall earlier.
like I said, my main problem with these last like 4 days or so is I think just lack of calories. So, you know, I was bitching about the Half Dome line and stuff earlier. It's true, but if I have the energy reserves, I want to go do it. Man, I don't know. It's like hitting me that it's over. I haven't really showed much emotion. Like, I haven't really felt much, but I'm just overcome with strange feelings, I guess. I don't know how to interpret the experience, even like the fucking. It's so beautiful, but it's so much fucking work, and I don't know. It's a very, it's a weird thing when you're undergoing it, and how, you know, you have to process it later, I think, to really understand the experience. Post-processing, sort of like a psychedelic trip. Anytime you do something out of the ordinary, there's two components, I think. One of which is the lived experience, the next of which is the interpretation of the experience.
Alright, day 19, rise and shine. I'm gonna walk to Yosemite Village, finish up this trail here, and get a shower and wait for the bus. That's the plan.
Yosemite, the zoo, back in the Matrix. Kind of anticlimactic. Well, this is it, folks. Thanks for watching. My mind just keeps thinking about what's next.